Daniel Tiger is a show that tries to give off the idea of being something very sweet and positive, where all the characters are always very happy. But did you know that in reality, everyone who lives in Daniel Tiger's neighborhood hides some very dark secret? Wealth. It's pretty clear that Prince Wednesday has a lot of money. After all, he lives in a castle and his father is the king of the entire neighborhood. This is quite strange since neighborhoods don't have kings in real life, but this seems to be normal in the world of Daniel Tiger, and all we can do is accept it. However, have you ever stopped to think about how Prince Wednesday's family is so rich? We never see King Friday actually doing any kingly work. He's just there, living peacefully, while all the other adults are working. And that could mean that Prince Wednesday's family is so wealthy because they receive part of the salary of everyone who lives in the neighborhood. After all, that's how monarchies work in real life. In exchange for being allowed to live in the kingdom, ordinary people have to give part of the money they earn from their work to the royal family. If the neighborhood in the show works the same way, that means King Friday is exploiting all the other adults in the series, and Prince Wednesday doesn't even know that he lives off the hard work of his friend's parents. Or does he know and simply doesn't care? This is just the first of the 9 darkest secrets you didn't know about Daniel Tiger. It's time to have fun with us in another Cinewave. Evil Katarina Kitty Cat. Katarina Kitty Cat is far from being the nicest cat of all. Many times, she shows herself to be very selfish and out of control, throwing tantrums over extremely silly reasons. One example is when Daniel was playing pretend as a turtle. Then Katarina showed up pretending to be an octopus and grabbed him by the arm to swing him around forcefully. Daniel didn't like that at all and politely asked Katarina to stop, but she kept going. Even when an adult came over to say that what she was doing was wrong, Katarina acted as if she were just playing a harmless game and took a long time to apologize. She has many other moments like this, such as when she desperately tried to take the baby bottle Daniel was using to pretend feed his toy. And it seems like Katarina never truly feels remorse for her lack of respect, only apologizing when she is confronted by an adult, who, by the way, usually speaks to her in a very calm and gentle manner. Why does she act like this? There are a few theories, and one of them is very simple. Katarina is mean. She isn't just a child who makes mistakes. She's someone who knows she's doing the wrong thing and keeps doing it anyway because she knows she will never face any serious consequences. The worst that ever happens when Katarina does something wrong is an adult showing up to say that it's wrong. How far will this little cat go before someone realizes that there's something seriously wrong with her? Oh, the Owl's parents. It's clear that many characters in Daniel Tiger's neighborhood aren't as nice as the show wants us to believe. But that's not the case with Oh the Owl. He truly is a very kind and innocent character, rarely causing problems for anyone else. However, there is something very strange about his family. In case you haven't noticed, Oh the Owl's parents never appeared during the series. He lives with his uncle, who seems to be responsible for taking care of him. Where did his parents go? Why does he have to live with his uncle? There are many possibilities, and some of them are quite dark. For example, it's possible that O's parents died in some kind of accident, leaving him an orphan. Another option, which isn't much better, is that his parents ran away to another city, abandoning the boy and leaving him in the care of his uncle. This is even sadder for O, because it would mean that his parents don't love him and would rather never see him again. Maybe that's why O the Owl is so polite. He's afraid of doing something wrong and being abandoned by other people the same way his parents abandoned him. It's amazing to uncover the secrets hidden in animated shows, right? If you agree, leave a comment down below with #secret so we can see it. Katarina's father. There is also a certain mystery surrounding Katarina's father. The little cat's mother has appeared many times and seems to be very present in her life, but what about her father? He has never shown up, not even in episodes that show Katarina's house, which suggests that the little one doesn't have a father, and if she does, that father doesn't live with her, which could mean that her mother is divorced. However, some fans and theorists have noticed that there are chances Katarina's father has actually appeared several times in the show. If this theory is true, her father has, in fact, appeared since the previous series in this franchise, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. In this case, he would be a gray tiger who appeared quite often in that program. It fits, right? After all, he has a color similar to Katarina's. If you're wondering where that character went, well, he's actually someone very present in Daniel's show. After all, he's Daniel's father. Yes, despite having changed color, Daniel's dad and that gray tiger are the same person. In that case, Daniel's father would have had a romance with Katarina's mother, resulting in the birth of the little cat. However, a short time later, they would have ended things, and the tiger would marry the woman who would later become the mother of Daniel and Margaret. That's why Katarina's father is never at home, and that could also explain why Daniel's family and Katarina's family spend so much time together, even including moments when both families go out to eat together at a restaurant. It's because, in the end, the two families are actually two halves of a single family, since Daniel and Katarina share the same father. It's just hard to know whether the kids are aware of this, or if it's a secret only the parents know. Financial problems. Speaking of Dad Tiger, it's possible that he has another secret besides that one, a secret related to his family's financial situation. Daniel's father works in a clock factory, and his clocks seem to be pretty nice, but we never see him sell a single clock, and the factory walls are always filled with those devices. If Dad Tiger never sells a clock, then a question comes up. How does he manage to make money to support his family? Or could it be that, in reality, Dad Tiger used to sell clocks, but the number of customers kept decreasing more and more until it eventually reached zero? That seems to be the most likely scenario, and it's worrying because it means the Tiger family is being supported solely by the money savings Daniel's father still has. When that reserve runs out, they'll be in serious trouble because they won't be able to buy new toys for Daniel or even food, which will force Dad Tiger to find a new job as quickly as possible, preferably one that actually pays well. And to think that, while all this is happening, King Friday is enjoying life with zero problems, right? Spoiled Prince. Speaking of that, there's something else we need to say about Prince Wednesday. Besides very likely living off the money of his friend's parents, he also has some personality issues that exist only because of his noble lifestyle, which we can clearly see in the episode where Wednesday is playing beach with Daniel Tiger. The two of them could have played peacefully, but Wednesday has the brilliant idea of convincing Daniel to throw sand all over the floor of his house so the place would look more like a beach, which is completely senseless and not nice at all. So much so that Mom Tiger got very upset when she saw the mess the two of them made. Daniel took part in it, but he only did so because Prince Wednesday came up with the idea and told his friend about it. And for someone to think of something like that on their own, it means that messing up places like that is normal for Prince Wednesday. When we remember the fact that he's a noble, things start to make a lot more sense. Wednesday has always had servants to clean up his messes, so he never learned that doing this kind of thing is wrong. He probably thought Mom Tiger would gladly accept cleaning the sand off the floor. Wanna keep having fun with us? Then subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Forgotten Margaret. Margaret, Daniel's younger sister, goes through a situation that is very strange and sad at the same time. In other animated shows, it's very common for parents to like their younger children more than the older ones. Evie from Peppa Pig and Bingo from Bluey. Both are their parents' favorites, with Bandit even having accidentally said that he wished Bluey were more like Bingo. But in Margaret's case, the poor little one is often forgotten, with her parents giving much more attention to Daniel Tiger because he likes to draw attention to himself and has anger issues that require his parents to be there all the time to help him calm down. Meanwhile, Margaret rarely causes any problems, which makes her parents feel like they don't need to pay much attention to her. The moment this went beyond any limit of common sense was when the family went to a party while Margaret was clearly showing signs of being sick. She spent the entire trip coughing, which only got worse and worse until she started coughing badly in the middle of the party. It was only at that moment that her parents realized she wasn't feeling well, even though anyone who was paying attention would have noticed it right away. Elena, the victim. Another girl who suffers a lot, just like Margaret, is Miss Elena, who often ends up being the target of Katarina's and Daniel Tiger's outbursts, even though she rarely does anything wrong to deserve being bothered by the two of them. In the episode where the kids visit the music shop, Elena ends up being confronted by Katarina because the little cat wanted to take the instrument Elena had already picked. Now, when it comes to what she has suffered at Daniel's hands, it's honestly hard to even talk about. There were several times when he got furious with the girl over some very silly reason. On one occasion, Daniel threatened to hit her and only didn't do it because the classroom teacher showed up in time. Anger issues. If there's one thing that really stands out in Daniel Tiger's neighborhood, it's how often Daniel, the main character no less, has angry outbursts over extremely silly reasons. As we already mentioned, he almost attacked Elena, and guess what the reason was? was. Simple, she spilled paint on his drawing. To make things worse, Daniel also nearly hit his own sister just because she knocked over a structure he had built. Guys, Margaret is a baby and doesn't even have the ability to understand what is right and what is wrong. This boy is always one step away from exploding and needs to be watched all the time so he doesn't hit anyone, which leads us to believe that his anger issues might actually be a mental matter. Daniel could very well have some kind of psychological disorder that makes him extremely explosive, and that's why all the adults are so patient with him. The next step is right in front of you. 2 fun-filled videos waiting for your click. Thanks, and see you soon.